Hello everyone, welcome to our second part of our tutorial series on building a full stack task management application with Next.js. So in the previous video, we have seen how to install the Next.js application with Next UI into our local system. So in the today video, we'll learn how we can create a context API within our Next.js application. So let's get started. So first of all, I will define an interface for our task. Okay. So for that, I will create a like folder inside our root directory called interface. Okay, interfaces, and inside this interfaces, I will create another file called task.ts. Okay, since I'm using TypeScript, so I will create my folder with ts extension. Okay, now here I will define my interface. So for that, I will write like export. Okay, interface, and then the name of the interface is task. Okay, now here I will define the interface about us. So first it will take id. Okay, whose type will be a number. Okay, then it will take title. Okay, the type of the title will be string. Okay, then description. Okay, the type of the description will be string, and then it will take status. Okay, now it can take for enum value. Okay, so the value will be to do or in progress. Okay, or done or all. Okay, so status variable can only take the value from these, like either it can be to do or in progress or done or all. And if I try to provide any other value except from all of these, then TypeScript will show me an error. Okay, so now after creating the task, we will task interface, we will create our context. Okay, so for that again I will create another folder, okay, into a root directory called context. Okay, and inside that context folder I will create a new file called task context. Okay, .tsx. Okay, so now this will use some react hook. Okay, this file utilize some react hook. So for that, at the top I will use a use client directory. Okay, because if I don't use this use client directory, then Next.js will throw me error, because by default Next.js treat every file as a server. Okay, server component. But if anywhere we are going to use the client side a component, then we need to define that use client directory at the top. Okay, so now first of all I will define the interface. Okay, for our task component for context. So here I will add interface task context type. Okay, and now it will take a task. So it will be an array format. Okay, and whose type will be task, like the task which I have created. Okay, in the interface section. Okay, interface file, sorry, interface file, like it will take this object, like it will take this task in an array format. Okay, so after defining task, okay, it will also take add task for like function. So it will be a function which take task as an argument. Okay, type will be task. Okay, and then and this function will won't return anything, so I will write void here. Okay, now after the add task, it will also take update task. Okay, so update task will take two parameter. First id, whose type will be number, and second the task, so whose type also will be task. Okay, now this function also won't return anything, so I will write void. Now delete task. Okay, so it will only take id as a argument, and this function also won't return anything, so I will write void here. Now it will also accept the filter status. Okay, now this filter status will be like status. Okay, which I have defined inside our task. So here I will write type will be task, and then square bracket inside it I will mention like status. Okay, now set filter status. Okay, now it will take status, okay, as a parameter or argument. Okay, again I will define the same type. Okay, and also this function will also won't return anything, so I will write void here. Okay, so here I have defined the task context type. Okay, now let's create the context. Okay, so for creating the context I will write const task context, okay, equal to create context, okay, which should be imported from React. Okay, and now here the type will be, so the type will be task context type. Okay, or it can be undefined also. Okay, so here initial value I will pass undefined. Okay, so it's done. Now after creating the task context I will create a provider. Okay, task provider. So let's create it. So first it will be exported, so I need to export it. So export const task provider. Okay, so it will accept a children. Okay, and now let's define the type of this children also. So children, and it will be a type of this children will be React node. Okay, which will be imported from React. So let's import it. Import, okay, React from React. Okay, and after this React I will write a comma. Okay, here I will write React node also. Okay, now here I will create a arrow function like this. Okay, now inside the task provider I will create some like state and the function. Okay, so first I will create a task. Okay, so task set task, okay, is equal to use state. Okay, and now type of this task will be task of array, okay, in form of array. Okay, and I will pass the initial value as empty array. Now let's define another state, and it will be filter status. Okay, and set filter status. Okay, again the type will be, sorry, it will be a use state. Okay, now I think you guessed it right. The type of this status will be task, and then a square bracket I will write status. Okay, now here I will define by default initial value I will provide as all. Okay, now I will create a function like three functions for creating tasks, updating tasks, and deleting. Okay, now you can see it. You will accept also add task, update task, and delete task. So first, let's define our add task function. So for that, I will add const add task. Okay, is equal to. So now it will take a task. Okay, as an argument. So I will write task, which type will be task. Okay, and what it will do? It will set the task. Okay, now inside set task I will create another callback function. Okay, like this. So it will take argument like previous task as argument. So previous task. Okay, and what it will do, it will return a new updated task. Okay, in form of array. So here I will first this structure my previous task. Okay, and then here I will add the task which is this add task is accepting as an argument. Okay, so now it's done. Now let's create a function for updating the task. So I will name is update task. Okay, now it will take id. Okay, type will be number, and then the updated task. Okay, whose type will be task. Okay, so now let's define this function also. Okay, so what it will do, it will do set task. okay, and same thing, it will take a previous task, okay, and then I will create a arrow function, okay, and here what I will do, first I will map on my previous task, so previous task dot map, okay. So now here it will also take a call function, so I will accept a task parameter, okay, and I will define a call function here task, okay. So now first I will check if task dot id, okay, if it is equal to id, which is taking accepting as a parameter, okay. If it is equal to this id, then I will update that task with this updated task, okay. So I will return this updated task, otherwise I will return the same task, okay. So it's done, so let's save it, okay. So it's done. Now let's create a delete task function, okay. So delete task, okay. So now it will take id, okay, so type will be number, okay. Now what it will do, it will do set task, okay. Again we will write the previous tasks, okay, and now here I will write previous task, okay, dot filter, here I will use a filter method, okay. So now it will give me a task, okay, like this. So what I will do, I will just compare if task dot id, okay, so not task id, task dot id should not be equal to id, okay. So it's done. So now let's save it. So delete task function also complete, okay. Now let's define our class like filter task, okay. Filter task, we will name it as filter task, okay. So it won't be a function, instead of it will be an its type will be same as a task, okay. Like it will take a list of tasks. So here what I will do, I will do like first task, okay, that filter, okay, and it will take task as a argument inside our call function, okay. So task, here what I will do, okay, so first I will do if filter status, okay, is equal to all, okay. Otherwise if task dot status, okay, is equal to like filter status. Now what it will do, like this logic what it will doing here. So like you can see here I have defined a filter status, okay, states here. So what it will do, whenever this status is changed, so it will change this filter task also. Now you can see if filter status is all, so it will run all tasks, okay. So filter task will be same as task, okay. That means it will show all the tasks, okay. And if the task is status or filter status is equal to task status, so it will return only those tasks whose status is equal to filter status, okay. So in this way we will get the filtered task, okay, based on the status, okay. So now let's return the task provider. So here I will write return task context, okay, dot provider, okay, and inside here I will write children, okay, like this, okay. Let's give error, okay. Here I have, there is spelling wrong, so I will write children here, okay. Now you can see error is resolved. Now let's save it, okay. So here task context will also expose some value, okay, which can be utilized, it can be used across all the components, okay. So it will expose the value as task, okay, filter task, sorry, filter status, okay, add task, update task, delete task, okay, and one more, set filter status, okay. Let's save it. So it's done. Now it exposes the value as task, filter status, add task, update task, delete task, and set filter status. Now I will create a custom hook, okay, to use of to so that we can use this use context. Sorry, we can use this task context across our component. So for that, I will create a export const, okay, use task context, okay, it will be equal to a arrow function, okay, like this. So here first I will create a context. So first context equal to use context, okay, this will be imported from React, okay, and here I will pass our task context, okay, as argument. Now here I will perform a simple check statement if there is like I am getting the context as undefined, okay. So in this case I will throw new error, okay, throw new error with message as use task context, okay, must be used, okay, within a task provider, done. And if like I'm getting a context, okay, then in this case I will return that context, okay. So it's done. So now you can see we have successfully created our, okay, task provider. And one more thing, okay, here, okay, we wanted to make one changes like the task which should be exported, sorry, exported, it will be a filter task, okay, it should be equal to filter task. So here I will do task will be equal to filter task, oh, sorry, yeah, filter task, okay. So it's done. Now we need to like to use this context, we need to wrap this like wrap this provider, like I have created one task provider, okay. So we need to wrap this task provider, okay. So we need to wrap our like application with this task provider, okay. So for that, what I will do, I will go to our layout.css file, okay, and here I will import my task provider. So I will write task provider, make sure it should be imported from context slash task context, okay. Now I will cut this end statement and paste after this children, okay. Now let's save it. Now we can use the our like task context, okay, like we can use this exported value across our component, okay. Now let's test it like whether we can use this or not. So for that, we will go to our page.tsx file, okay, and here I will first like import our use context for use task context, okay, which we have created inside our task context, okay. And now if you go here and if you inside this curly bracket and if you press control plus space, you will get the suggestion like what are the like function or variable we have access to. How you can see we can access this add task, delete task, filter status, set filter status, task or update task. So now let's import the task here, okay. Now if I console this, now console.log task, okay, and let's run our application. So to run our application, we will open our terminal, can write command as npm run dev, okay. So now control click this link, okay. So you see I'm getting some error like use context, okay, it's not a function. So like to fix this again, we can go to our like home, okay, and here also we need to like mention that this page will be a use client, okay. So use client directory we need to mention at the top, okay. Let's save it. Now if I refresh it, now you can see like I'm not getting anything here, okay, on the DOM. But if I open my inspect, okay, by pressing control shift and I, okay, and if I go to console, okay, let's clear it, and if I refresh again, Okay, now let's see. Yes, here, like if I scroll up the, okay, so now here you can see I'm getting task. Okay, and it's an empty object. Okay, like task is an empty, for empty array. Okay, so in this way we can use, okay, of the task context variable. Okay, so that's it for this video, guys. Okay, I hope you learn like how we can create the like context API within our Next.js application. Like we can use the same logic inside our sorry, React.js application also to create a context API. Because Next.js is built on the top of React, so it's using the same way to define the context API. Okay, so that's it for this video. In the next one, we will create a task form. Okay, to as like create a new task. Okay, so stay tuned in this tutorial series. Okay, and before leaving this video, if you like this video, just hit that like button and comment your thought, opinion, or any if you have any query. Okay, so I read all the comments very carefully. Okay, and make sure to subscribe this channel. Okay, if you are new, and also turn on the notification so you never miss any update. So that's it for this video, guys. I will meet you soon in the next one. Till then, happy coding.